Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am so happy to see you all. Guess what today it is? It is Friday. We made it. I don't know about your week, but it's been pretty tough here in coastal Georgia with all the rain and everything we have. Welcome to No Bullshipping with Hope White. Again, been a tough week, but we're glad to be here. But this next guest that we have on today's show is going to definitely brighten up your day. We have Miss Ellen Voie of Women in Trucking Association. She's the CEO and founder, also the president of Women in Trucking Association. So I'm going to bring up Miss Ellen Voie with us today. Hi, Ellen.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Oh, I am doing wonderful. It is such a pleasure.
Well, thank you for having me on. And yes, I'm glad it's Friday.
I know that's right. Looking forward to a wonderful weekend. Hopefully, a little dry skies here in coastal Georgia.
Well, I'm in Wisconsin, so it's beautiful here today.
Oh, Wisconsin. So today, Ellen, I want to speak with you about everything that you and the Women in Trucking Association is doing to build that gender diversity gap there throughout trucking for women. So could you tell me a little bit about yourself as well as Women in Trucking Association?
Sure. I've spent my entire career in the trucking industry. I was working at a steel fabricating plant doing drafting, and they asked if I wanted to move into traffic.
Mm-hmm.
And then they sent me to school for traffic and transportation management. So I learned the skills that have helped me through, being able to read tariffs and audit freight bills and apply for authority and things like that. So for 18 years, I did consulting to trucking companies, licensing and permitting them.
Right.
But and then for 6 years, I ran the Trucker Buddy program. Are you familiar with that?
No.
It's a pen pal program where truck drivers send postcards to elementary classrooms. It's pretty neat.
Wow.
Yeah. So then I got recruited by Schneider National, and they said, figure out how to attract and retain non-traditional groups. And that included returning military, Hispanics, seniors, and women. So I started doing my research, and, we really weren't, at 15 years ago, we really weren't focusing on any diversity.
Yeah.
The carriers would just say, oh, I just want the best person. And I'd say, well, we don't really have a level playing field here because your uniforms are made for men. Your trucks are designed for men. You don't even have washrooms for women.
You better say that.
Yeah, it really wasn't a level playing field. And so once we started pointing that out, and the other thing, once we found that we started getting data, nobody even knew what percentage of their driving fleet was female or their management team was female or safety directors. People didn't track that.
Yeah.
So once they started tracking it, they started seeing, oh my gosh, women are safer drivers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And better with equipment, better with customers. So
yeah,
once we started pointing out what women bring to this industry, whether it's in the boardroom or in the cab, then they started paying attention and going, oh, I hadn't thought about that. So it's here we are 15 years later with 7,000 members in 10 countries who all support our mission. Yeah.
Wow. And I'm a newly joined member.
Yay.
I was so glad.
Thank you.
When we spoke, I was like, why haven't you done this already? What are you doing? So I'm so grateful to be a part and be active in Women in Trucking. So I'm looking forward to what we all can do together there. I'm really excited there.
Thank you.
So what, if anything specifically, is there any specific part of the industry that Women in Trucking focus on to bridge that gap for women? Is it just the driver's seats, or is it just kind of all inclusive?
Yeah, it's all the women in the industry, but a lot of the issues involve drivers because there's a physical component.
Yeah.
So women in the boardroom, yes, women in safety, women in technicians, things like that. But a lot of the issues that we deal with for drivers have to do with making sure they're safe, and that the equipment is adaptable for women's shorter arms and legs and things like that. So a lot of it has to do with drivers, but we also represent women in all levels. I like to say the women who design the trucks, build the trucks, fix the trucks, own the trucks, sell the trucks, drive the trucks. So
absolutely.
And Hope, I have to tell you, 15% of our members are men who join because they believe in our mission. So I also like to say we're not for women as much as we're about women.
About women. Okay. Okay, I like that, Ellen. So within the last 6 months, we've seen so many different changes here in trucking and supply chain. Have you seen any changes for women in the industry?
Yes, and I'm so surprised. So we're seeing more women coming into the industry from the medical field.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, because they got burned out during
Yeah.
the pandemic. And
Yes.
and like I like to tell people, they got tired of people coughing on them. And and so I'm really surprised. I mean, I was at a recent event and like about a third of the women around the table said that they came from the medical field, whether they were aides or RNs or
Mhm.
LPNs. So I'm really surprised. The other thing that happened was women typically work in jobs that you can't telecommute. They're and I'm generalizing here,
Yeah. Yeah.
but a lot of them are service jobs. So during the pandemic, when restaurants shut down, the in dining restaurants shut down, hotels shut down,
Mhm.
convention centers shut down. So all the service industries were adversely affected, and they
Yeah.
saw that we had jobs.
Yeah. Yeah. We definitely have those jobs. Come on, ladies, because
Yes.
we are always growing over here at HC Dreads. Shameless plug. I'm gonna do it every show, Ellen.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So we do know that, like you said, there have been some pivoting going on in the industry, and finding those jobs. I know that's one of the things that Women in Trucking does to help minimize those obstacles. But what other services and resources do you all offer?
So we recently launched. I'll say recently. It took a long time to get it built, but we have a driver ambassador tractor trailer, and it's just amazing. It's got a
Mhm.
superhero on the side,
Yeah.
and when you walk in, there's a hands-on learning environment. So there's things like,
Oh, wow.
is it in your DNA to drive a truck, or what other jobs are there? What are the myths
Mhm.
that people have about the
Mhm.
trucking industry? And
Yeah.
then in the front of the trailer, we have a simulator.
Yeah.
So people walk through the trailer and they can get a little taste of what it's like. So we're introducing them to careers in transportation. That's one of them. Also, I'm really proud of our Girl Scout transportation patch that
Yeah.
we created. We found out,
Wow.
yeah, the Boy Scouts had a patch and Girl Scouts didn't. So we had created the curriculum with the Greater Chicago, Northern Indiana Girl Scout region. So we
Mhm.
wrote the curriculum. We had the patches created, and
Mhm.
we have an activity book called Scouting for Cookies.
Okay.
And it talks about how the grain goes from the field to the bakery in a truck. They
Yeah.
create a packaging in a truck. We want kids to look at our trucks on the road and say, that could be my cookies in there. That could be my milk. That could be the gas that daddy is going to put in our car.
That is
So
so cool, Ellen.
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, we want them to have a personal relationship to the industry. And also, I'm going to see my doll. Whoops, this side.
Yeah.
Wait, there.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, our truck driver doll. We have for kids as well. Her name's Claire.
Mhm.
So we want to introduce careers in transportation. And
Yes.
and the other thing that I'm really proud of is we have an image team, one in the United States and one in Canada, and they
Mhm.
do ride-alongs with regulators and legislators and media.
Mhm.
They gave Robin Hutchinson, the incoming FMCSA administrator, ride along recently.
That's right.
Um, we've given senators and congresspeople. We gave Diane Sawyer a ride in a
Mhm.
truck. So we want to get our drivers out there and have them talk about what they love about their jobs. So we have to get them out there and tell their stories.
Absolutely. And I'm so excited to hear more about the community in Women in Trucking. But before we do, we have some guests, some people in the comments. We want to tell our viewers hello. Hey, Rob, how you doing? Oh, he's checking in from Mount Juliet, Tennessee this week. Come on, Rob. What about San Diego? We have Sarah Barnes Humphrey with Let's Talk Supply Chain. Good morning. She says we're a star-studded show here today, Ellen.
Aw.
We have Aubrey Brown tuning in from Toronto. He says, great to be learning more about women in trucking. And then we also have Siva checking in with us from Chicago. She says, good morning and happy Friday. Thank you, Hope and Ellen. I really appreciate this. Look forward to this episode.
Aw. And I know Sarah, so hi, Sarah.
Yeah, so if you have any questions or comments for Ellen and I, just definitely go ahead and put those over in the chat and we'll get to them here. But we're going to pick up some more in this conversation. So, Ellen, I seen on your website, Women in Trucking, that you have a community Women in Trucking, like speak more on the community.
Well, we have quite a bit of opportunities for that. We have like an Engage platform on our website.
Yeah.
So you have to log in and get in, and then you can connect with other people, and it's a safe and secure place. We also have a Facebook group that has almost 11,000, mostly female drivers on there, and it's moderated by professional drivers. But we've also started, we have 2 mentoring programs. One is a self-matching. You can go in the Engage platform and say, I want to mentor or I want to be a mentor. And you can match yourself up. But we also have another one that's called Lead Her Trucking. And it's a 10-month program. And they meet once a month as a group. And then the mentor and the mentee meet with each other and kind of help each other, because we know that it's a tough job, and we need someone to ask questions to. So we know we've saved some of these new female drivers from leaving the industry because we provided them with a resource.
Yes. And speak on some of those resources, because I also seen on your website, because I was all up in your Kool-Aid, Ellen. I was all up and through there. And let me speak on Engage before you speak to that. The Engage platform, because I get that newsletter regularly. There are some awesome women in logistics and supply chain and trucking in that email chain. And I was like, girl, let me get in this conversation, start talking to some of these people, because they're all over the United States. They're in all different facets, all different companies. And so it is really a good platform there, the Engage there.
You know, I'm glad you are active on there, Hope, because we have to reach out and help each other and lift each other up. And I also need to mention that our conference is coming up in November in Dallas. And the number one reason people come to our conference is for networking. They want to meet other, mostly women. It's 85% women at our conference, but they want to meet other women doing their jobs as they do, so that they can, benchmark and talk to them and, learn from each other. And we have a really fun time, but we also have a lot of learning opportunities. We have breakout sessions. We have amazing speakers. So I would tell people, check out our Accelerate conference. It's November 13th through 15th in Dallas.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I'm so excited. Seriously, your Women in Trucking organization sounds very similar to Let's Talk Supply Chain with Sarah. Y'all environment that you all have created is just awesome, and I'm just so excited to be a part of it, and I'm just so grateful for this conversation. Speak on some of those resources that's on the website. We talked about Engage. We talked about Lead Her. But if I was a young woman looking to get in truck and learn more about obtaining my CDL, possibly, are there any resources there as well?
Absolutely. And I'm so glad you asked, because we just launched our driver portal just a few weeks ago.
Okay.
And it's free for anyone.
Okay.
We get so many questions where potential drivers will call in and say, how do I choose a school, or how do I choose a carrier, or how do I get funding? And by the way, we have a scholarship foundation as well. Recently, we've been getting questions on, can I get my CDL if I have a felony? So when we get questions like that, we go in and respond to them and answer them, so that they can go to the driver portal and get those answers, men and women, because we want them to be as prepared as possible when they come into this industry. They need to ask a lot of questions so that there are no surprises.
Yeah, that's definitely a question that I get quite often, message or DM to me. So now I know I have a heck of a resource to pivot people back to. Where can I get my CDL? Do I go to the tech college? Do I support someone locally? What do I need to do? So I am so, it's good to know that Women in Trucking have those resources and can answer those questions for someone.
Yeah, we want to make sure that they're well prepared when they come in the industry, because it's a lifestyle. It's not a job. It's a lifestyle. And we need them to understand that.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to check in with some more of our viewers. Ellen, we on fire this morning. So we have Jay DeCance. He says, good morning. Great info. Thanks so much for this great interview. Maurice Anderson says, good morning. Alfredo Limon says, good morning, everyone. Glad to be here. Sarah says, Blended Pledge is supporting Dr. Jennifer Hurley, PhD, to be at the conference.
Wow. So Dr. Hurley, and by the way, for Jay, the event in Dallas is for anyone, members or non-members, but we'll make sure you become a member.
Yeah, because that was a question. That was definitely the next question.
You don't have to be a member. But So Dr. Jennifer Hurley runs Trans New York.
Okay.
And one of the things that we have done at Women in Trucking is say, we call ourselves the voice of gender diversity. So what are we doing for the LGBTQIA plus community?
Yes.
So we put together a task force, and we've done webinars. We had Regan Morton is transgender driver for YRC, who is our member of the month, and she's just awesome.
All right.
And so Dr. Hurley will be moderating a panel at our conference to talk about how to be more inclusive.
Yes.
And I love Dr. Hurley. She's just so upfront and easy to talk to. I really enjoyed my conversation with her. So where else are you going to get a panel on LGBTQIA plus at a trucking event?
Girl, that thing gonna be fire. I'm ready for it.
Well, I mean, you're not going to see that at a logistics conference. You're not going to see that at another event. But we are, because we know that there's a lot of members of the LGBTQIA plus, I'm just going to call them plus, community, who are working in trucking. And so I'm going to go back to 15 years ago when I started Women in Trucking, and I'd say, what are you doing to attract women? And they go, oh, we just want the best person. Well, now they're doing the same thing. I'm saying, what are you doing to attract members of the plus community? They're like, oh, well, we just hire the best person. No, that's not the right answer. The right answer is we are working hard to accommodate and be, and I had one CEO of a company who came up to me and he said, Ellen, what you did by having this conversation made us go back and have a conversation. And he said, when we had our first transgender driver apply, we were ready. So I want people to have those conversations and be ready.
Well, the Accelerate conference in November, let's give some details on that. What are the dates and times?
It's November 13th through 15th. And I'm going to, if you don't mind, I'm going to get it up in front of me so that I can actually tell you who some of the speakers are, because
absolutely.
I think, so we have a lot of breakout sessions. So it's Sunday, November 13th, Monday, the 14th, Tuesday, the 15th, and Wednesday, the 16th. We actually have a truck technology tour inside the Hilton Anatole. So we will have trucks in there. We have a speed mentoring program. We also have a number of recognition programs. We have the top women to watch, the top women-owned businesses, and top companies for women to work. And one of the most popular speakers is Debbie Gardner, and she does a self-defense course. And I have been to her course every year, and I still learn something, because she talks about how to avoid getting in the situation, like how to carry yourself, and, what to do if, she even brings toilet paper tubes to show how to break someone's trachea if they're coming after you. Wow. She's pretty amazing. But we do a lot of partying too.
Ellen, right there. Let me ask you about the partying. Seriously.
So we have on Tuesday night, we're doing Let's Ride Bike Night reception and dance. So it's going to be all about bikers. But we found that on our Facebook page, about 80% of the female drivers also have a motorcycle license. So a lot of women in this industry are very comfortable with their Harleys. So it's going to be, I don't know all the details, but it's going to be a fun biker night.
Okay. Well, I'll be there to hear all the engines roaring. I won't be on one, but I'll be there to watch in all of its glory.
Wonderful.
With the conference, do you all touch on mental health in the industry, or do you have anybody there for that?
We do driver health and fitness. I'm not sure if we're doing mental health this year. I don't know if we are this year. I know we have done that in the past, but but yeah, if you look at the website, you'll see actually like ditch the imposter syndrome, recruit. We have our tracks are so when you come, maybe you're in safety, or maybe you're in recruiting, or maybe you're in marketing. So we have different tracks that you can follow based on what your job is. Oh, and here's the other thing, that we also have a virtual event in December. So if you sign up for the in-person event, you automatically get access to the virtual event. So Yeah, that way, if you're if you want to go to one of the breakouts and you couldn't do it because you're at another one, you can do it later in December, because we'll give you free access to the conference as well.
Wow. I'm ready.
It's going to be fun. And you know, there's an excitement at our conference. There's an energy in the room, and everyone is very positive. And that's what I love about it. It's, you know, and it is 85% women. And I'm hoping we have 1,500 people. Our pre-pandemic, we had 1,100. So I'm kind of throwing it out in the universe to get 1,500.
Girl, we're going to have 2,000. Come on with it.
Works for me.
Fill it up.
We have room. We have room. We really do. So, I mean, it's just a fun networking event.
Yeah.
But it's also an opportunity to learn, meet others, and just, you know, network.
Well, I'm sure, you know, I'll have quite a few friends of mine that will be there in attendance as well. We've already discussed it, so we'll definitely be there.
You're bringing your tribe.
I'm bringing my tribe. I am. I want to check in with some more of our viewers here. We have Lori from Maryland. She says, this is fantastic, and Girl Scouts can get introduced to the industry with your patches there. She thinks that's so cool. Maurice says, that's great. We already answered about the event for members for the conference. Someone was asking again, will the event be for members only, or can the general public attend?
Anyone can attend. And the registration actually includes all your meals. So, yeah.
Okay. We have Dominga, says, good morning from Chicago. I'm representing a freight forwarder, so it's inspiring to see women in trucking and logistics. We have Sophia. She says, hello from Global Logistical Connections. And then Let's Talk Supply Chain put the link in there for you for the Accelerate Conference in November. So go register now if you have not already done so. It's going to be phenomenal. As Ellen just spoke on, the energy in the room and the space for that weekend is going to be fire. You don't want to miss that vibe.
Even our lunches, we have roundtable discussions. So you can sign up or go to a table that has a topic on there that you want to discuss, and other people will be at that table, and we'll have a facilitator. So even the lunches, which are, you know, they're pretty informal, but they're also informative. So, I mean, and you'll meet so many other women and men who are just as excited about changing the world. And I have to tell you, Hope, one of the things that we've done at Women in Trucking is we don't call trucking a male-dominated environment anymore. We call it male-populated, because we're going to dominate.
Girl, you got a girl. I love it.
Yes.
We're taking over.
Yes. No more male-dominated. It's male-populated, because we're going to dominate.
Thank you so much. I'll make sure I get my conversation and my diction together when I speak on that.
You know, a couple of other things, Hope, I wanted to mention. We do a lot of research. And so we have white papers. We just came out with the WIT index, and we found out that female drivers make up almost 14% of the driving population, which we're thrilled. Technicians, we need more technicians. We need more women in safety. But it's surprising. I think safety professionals were at about 43%. We also have a white paper on harassment. So our Women in Trucking Index, the harassment, you have access to all of those as a corporate member. So we want to be a resource.
Ellen, I'm going to give you a shameless plug here. I think you should make that a shirt.
What?
No longer male dominated.
Oh, male populated.
And put women in trucking on it. I think that should be at the conference on the table.
That's not a bad idea.
I just take 5% commission.
I'm going to make a note of that.
I think that would be a cool shirt, cup, pin, or anything, because that is phenomenal. I think a lot of women would buy that, because we face these good old men every day. So I think that would be pretty cool for us to walk around with that on our backs.
I love it.
Absolutely. You got a compliment over here from Audrey Ross. Says, love the work being done with Girl Scouts. I'm a Girl Scout in Canada. It's called Guides. And it's so important to show them all of the adventures that are available to them.
We actually have done events in Canada, and it is Girl Guides. We've done events in New Zealand even. So, look at our website. The curriculum is there.
Oh, I'm excited. All right. So, Ellen, we're going to wrap up here. But before we do, we want to get some good information, important information for all our viewers and followers here to find you. So what's the process by which, if I want to join Women in Trucking, what's that process look like?
It's pretty simple. You go to womenintrucking.org and click on join. And we have both individual and corporate members. So we're a trade professional organization. So and you can join as an individual member, but then you don't get access to all of the white papers and the anti-harassment employment guide and things like that. So if you join as a corporate member, you get access to all of our resources. If you join as an individual member, we never share your information because we want to keep you private. So it's a different, but I would say just click on join and the benefits are there. It's pretty simple. You can even join online.
Okay. Ellen, they blowing us up about the shirt. Rob says he loves a shirt idea and he wants to help market that shirt.
Awesome.
And quite a few women over here have said, go ahead and make that shirt.
I love it. I love it. And our colors are red because red's the power color.
Yes, it is, girl. All day long. I got to give you a snap again, girl. Yeah. Power. So tell our viewers how we can find Women in Trucking, and also how can we follow you?
So womenintrucking.org, and we have Instagram, we have TikTok, we have Facebook, we have YouTube, and it's all Women in Trucking. Yeah. And you can find me on the website. Just click on staff, and you'll see who we are and what we do. We have a new director of driver engagement, and so she's helping us with the image team and the driver ambassador trailer. So we're just growing. It's wonderful.
I'm so excited. So anything else you want to add, Ellen, before we get out of here for the day? I mean, you've just given us a ton of information about women trucking. If I didn't know anything already, I would just be ready to just jump off the cliff.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you in Dallas and your tribe.
This is going to be my first time in Texas.
Really? Oh, yes. Wow. You'll love it.
I love it. I'm excited.
We'll have a good time.
Well, thank you so much, Ellen, for your time. And I'm looking forward to speaking with you later on. Thank you so much for today.
Thank you, Hope. Have a great weekend.
You do the same. All right. Now, Ellen, she came and dropped some bombs there for resources that you have for women in trucking. We're not by ourselves. What she said, men don't dominate. They just populate the industry. Girl, we love it. Put that on a shirt. Well, thank you so much today for tuning in to No Bullshipping with Hope White. The links are in the chat for registering for the Accelerate Conference in November 13th through the 15th in Texas. Please make sure you do. As always, thank you again, and we'll talk to you soon.